Jesus Christ Superstar. Jesus Christ Superstar.
What have you sacrificed? Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. Who are you? What have you sacrificed? Jesus Christ, superstar. Do you become what you say you are? Jesus Christ, superstar. Do you become what you say you are?
So I think we both watched different versions, right?
Jesus Christ, superstar. Do you become what they say you are? Jesus Christ, superstar. Do you become what they say you are? Only wanna know, only wanna know, only wanna know now.
No, I watched the movie as well, but we did watch that. I watched two versions. So yes, sorry, I should have said yes. Yes, we did, but I also did watch the movie. Do you have questions?
Just kind of. So the version that I watched, they're out in the desert, and they're doing like the stage thing,
Yes.
or the movie or whatever, and they're hippies. But like we start off and Judas is already Judas,
He's already in character,
and
yeah.
and there's a lot of stuff that happens in it, and it's hard to follow because it's singing.
So the number one thing about Jesus Christ Superstar, because Jake came at it in kind of a similar way of being like, so much of this doesn't make any sense and it drives me crazy. Like at one point, Judas is singing about how sad he is, and there's just randomly tanks in the background. Like
Yeah.
the anachronisms are the point. So the point about Jesus Christ Superstar is the story is always the same, but how you interpret it's kind of like when we did Shakespeare, where the way you interpret it is always different. So the staging the staging is always different. So and the version I watched took place in a dystopian kind of futuristic city where Jesus is now the leader of a bunch of revolutionary kind of like leftist kind of communist kind of guys. It's about that more, whereas the movie is more about like hippie beatniks in the desert. Apparently they actually filmed it in Israel, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, it blew my mind. One of the things that blew my, I mean, the big thing that blows my mind about this is that they perform it in churches. That blew Jake's mind as well. He went, I also can't believe that. I'm like, I can't believe they do this in churches.
I still can't believe
It's
that.
incredible because the gratifying thing was having Jake be like, no, you're right. Like the big thing about this, my big controversial opinion on this musical is it's a pro Judas musical. It's the story of the passion told through music, through the perspective of Judas, and it comes at the angle of treating Jesus as though the movie kind of equates it to being celebrity, is how Jake put it, and I kind of agree with that. It equates it to Jesus is a famous celebrity who has developed an ego and doesn't want to do the thing that he knows that he has to do, and whines and bitches and moans and complains about it the whole time.
It's interesting that you say celebrity. I do see, but for me, it's sort of the equivalent of to bring it to religion. It's sort of the equivalent of he's like one of those TV priests or super priests or whatever.
I mean, that's celebrity to a degree. It's the same basic idea of like someone a larger than life figure.
The sin of pride, if you will.
Who has become obsessed with his own self-image and cares more about how he comes across to people and what people think of him rather than and this musical more than any Jesus. This is probably my favorite Jesus thing because it makes Jesus look like an asshole. Because it makes him look like a guy who is human and has human feelings about things, and who still ultimately does the thing that he's supposed to do, but feels a way about it. And that makes it interesting. And makes that this is the movie that made me go, oh, maybe Jesus was a real guy. Like, yeah, the idea that like he was a guy who just was making a lot of noise and he was affecting the movement of these people, and they got scared of what he was saying and what he would cause them, is so much more believable as a real world story than what comes out of it. And this movie is the best representation of that. Where like, oh yeah, it presents instead of presenting Judas as being a sneaky, conniving opportunist who feels guilty and shameful because he sees his friend get violently executed, violently tortured. It presents him as being kind of more human, and a guy who was like, he's like, oh, like in one of the versions, they're like, oh yeah, you could take this money that we're giving you and do exactly what you want to do. Go help the poor. You can go take this money and help the poor. Why don't you do that? The best number in this musical is the opening one, in my opinion. It's my favorite. Hands down my favorite.
I feel like it's one of those ones where in order for any of that to stick with me, I'd have to watch it a few times. I have to be honest. Pretty much as soon as I finished watching it, it washed from my mind.
What's interesting is, yeah, I enjoyed it way. The first time I watched it, I only liked the opener. The opener is my favorite song in that musical. I think it's the best song. I think it conveys the theme of the play the best. I don't think any of the other. The best character in that musical is, like you said about the other one, it's Judas. Judas absolutely carries that movie, and by the time, like when he leaves, it kind of loses its luster a little bit.
It just felt really, really long for me.
Also, in terms of the movie version, I don't think the movie's the best version of that musical. I don't think that's the best version of Herod. I don't think it's this is going to be blasphemous for musical theater nerds. I don't think it's the best version of Judas. I think you would probably enjoy the other version, the concert version. I think you would probably get behind that more because I think, again, I'm going to share it with, now that you've seen it, I'm going to share with you Tim Minchin's version of that song, of the opening song again, because I think you might actually get behind it a bit more, because his vocal style is kind of a bit, my thing with the 70s version is it's so 70s. Like they like scream sing a lot of the music, like they
it really made me think of the Beatles.
Yes, they elongate along of the vocals. So like, I don't like the way he sings "Heaven on Your Mind." I don't like the way it sounds. It's just
like I believe when I was watching it, I even made a joke when I saw Jesus. I think I even made a joke about how Paul showed up.
Yeah. I mean, there's the note he hits because his pants are so tight. What?
Your mic did not pick that up.
It might have. My mic typically picks up when I do that. This time it might not.
I didn't hear it.
No, Zoom didn't. Zoom didn't. The stream might have heard it. But yeah, there's a really funny montage where it's Lin-Manuel Miranda trying to hit that note. That's really, really funny. I think I sent it to you.
You did.
It's like, it's the meanest thing anyone's ever done to Lin-Manuel Miranda.
So yeah, this had a budget of 3.5 million, made 24.5 million.
It did all right. Honestly, this is one of those musicals where this is another one where I would like for them to do a remake of this, but I want them to do it straight, like no anachronisms, make it 100% like look historically accurate as much as you can, but still do the music. I think,
and I would cut out the framing device too.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Do it where, like, don't do it where it's like people doing the Passion in the Woods or whatever, and that the first 2 minutes is them But part of that's the thing, is that opening overture that exists to explain to set up the framing device. So like, the movie that musical kind of needs a framing device. I don't know if maybe there's a better framing device you could do that's more engaging than that.
I don't think it needs one. I think you could just jump into it.
I never said it needed it. I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is, like, a purist of that musical would say, but that's part of it. I think they should do it 100% straight.
It's part of it. It's an unnecessary part of it.
I don't disagree. I would absolutely. I'm with you.
It
Do it.
just it just adds another 20 minutes onto this thing, and again, it already feels long.
I mean, 20 minutes is an exaggeration. It's probably more like 2 3 minutes, but
Well, if you're doing the beginning and the end,
and again, well, no, it ends with him getting crucified, and then yeah, the last like 2 3 minutes is the wrap up of them putting all the costumes and taking the costumes
and
off.
they notice that the actor who plays Jesus
Jesus is
isn't there.
gone because he's actually been Jesus the whole time. I guess I don't get what the point of that was, but no, I don't disagree with you. But again, you know me, I have a weird sense of humor. I think if they did this straight, it would be way funnier. Like if they did it 100% authentic, all of the costumes are authentic. Everyone
Yeah,
looks
I mean, I would
authentic.
just call it Jesus the Musical.
Well, no, you still call it Jesus Christ Superstar. It's still Jesus.
Whatever.
But yeah, I think that would be I think that would be funny. But yeah, this one, this musical, this will always probably be one of my favorite Jesus movies because it is what sent me down the rabbit hole of being like, Jesus is a real guy. He's not like Santa Claus and fictional. Like there's a chance that he's real, and like made me learn all the historical backing for all this stuff. And yeah, I became really interested in this subject off the back of this movie. So I'm always gonna have like a healthy respect for it.
Yeah. See, by comparison, um, I watched this second to last, and at this point was so religious out
I think what I would maybe consider
that
doing.
that it just I don't think I enjoyed it as much as you wanted me to.
I mean, I didn't want you to. I wanted you to tell me that it was a pro Judas musical. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, which I did.
Which it is. Yeah. No. I got what I wanted. But you agreed with me on everything I said about it. So I got what I wanted. No, it's a sung
I
through
just
musical. I never expected you to like this because you're like me. You don't like sung through musicals. So like,
they're so hard to
they're
follow.
hard to follow. The only reason why this wasn't hard for me is because by this point, this was the fourth retelling of the Passion of the Christ that I had seen. And so I was already familiar with it. And then it became about,
Yeah.
okay.
But by that same token, it was the fourth retelling of the story of Jesus and his death. And my brain was just like, you've seen this four times.
That's the difference between me and you is I then become interested in like, it helps me understand because at the beginning of this, I'm like, I don't understand what the beef is. But then by the end of it, by the fourth or fifth person explaining it in like plain language, I'm like, oh, okay. I get what the beef is because yeah, up until this week, I always was like, yeah, they killed, he died on the cross for our sins. Like I saw that in Ted. One of the characters was like, Jesus died on the cross for our sins. That's why they crucified him. And I went, no, that's not why they crucified him. Yeah, he died on the cross for our sins, but that's not why they crucified him. They didn't crucify him to die.
That's not why the mortal men crucified him. That's why God let him be crucified.
Yeah, that's why God let him be crucified. Big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah, big difference. Jordan, do you have anything else you want to say about Jesus Christ?
No, not really. It was fine, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was like a 5 in terms of preachiness.
Hey man, at least it wasn't. See, I don't think it. I think it was a 1. It's a 1. It absolutely does not preach at all.
It's 5. It's doing the story of Jesus.
No, but that's what gives it a 1. The 1 gives it, but it's if anything, it's the anti-Jesus movie. It explicitly characterizes and makes Jesus look like a dick. Like it makes Judas look like a good guy. Like they think he's the betrayer. He's the ultimate betrayer, and this makes him look like he's a nice guy who had a good point. Like, which I'm not saying he didn't have a good point, but this absolutely paints him as having a good point, which is antithetical to Christianity and Jesus and religion generally. So no, if anything, it's the anti-religion movie. Like I say, it is. I can say pretty comfortably the most atheist movie I've ever seen about Jesus. Like that's where I'm like, I cannot believe they do. That's where I'm gonna wrap up. I cannot believe they do this in churches because of how much it is mean to Jesus. Like
again, unless they alter it.
Yeah, unless they so by that notion, you're right. It is always going to have a default air of religiousness to it because it is based on the story of Jesus. But that's where I'm like 1, solid 1. If any movie is a 1, it is a 1. It is the oneiest of ones. I will maybe go 2.
I stand by what I say.
I don't think it's a 5. 5 is way too high. I respectfully disagree. That is way too high. Way too high of a number. Yeah, I'd be interested. Maybe when we do musicals again, I'll get you to watch or I'll suggest you watch the other version of it that I watched and see if you like that one better. Because I like that.
It would be a hard sell.
Because truly, I like that version better. I think it's better. I think all the vocal performances are better. I think it's the as of now the best version I've seen of that musical. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you afterwards. I'm gonna send you the.
It'd be a hard sell.
I don't know. This feels like one of those musicals where a couple weeks from now, or a month from now, one of the songs is on your playlist. I'm not saying all of them, but certainly one of them.
That's where in this instance probably not, because I really don't remember any of them.
Fair enough. But
like they didn't stick in my brain enough to make me go like, ooh, that's in my head. I need to go and listen to that. So like if we're in a car, if you and I are in a car a lot and like you're playing it and I hear it, and it gets stuck in my head,
I played it a couple
then
times
maybe. But no, I mean going forward.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like you're gonna get behind Heaven on Your Mind. That's gonna be the song that you get behind, like I did. Like that's the only song I like from that musical, truly. Like this time I found more that I kind of dug. Like I liked What's the Buzz, What's Happening. I kind of got into that a little bit, but yeah, there's only I really only like the one song, and that's because I think it's like, yeah, it to me explains the problem with religion in like a single song, like. The you really do believe this talk of God is true. You're when we began there was no talk of God, you are a mortal man, and like as this has gone on you've started to believe this idea that you're God is the most believable explanation for God and Jesus I've ever heard. Like that was like an epiphany moment for me where I was like, oh yeah, when you put it like that,
you're dating your own con.
Right, that's what it sounds like. That's what this movie is. This movie is you're dating your own con, the movie. Or the musical. That's what this is. And like, yeah, you kind of got to put it in, it's like it was made in the 1960s. And like, it's like it's mid-nom, they're all cynical. Like, you have to understand when it came out. But that to me, like, that is what, yeah, it's a religion in which a guy dated his own con.
That's where I say, like, if we had done a week where it was musicals,
yeah, maybe you should have done this one.
And you got me to do this. Well, no, I couldn't. This was a have not seen.
No, but you could have done it as a rapid fire and then.
But I couldn't because you were doing it as a have seen.
Yeah, but you could have still done it.
We had to link it up.
We could have both done it as a rapid fire, and then we would have done it first.
No. This was always a have seen. Or have not seen.
But yeah,
but no, if I had done this and even then, no, at that point, it would have had to be the first one that I watched.
It has everything to do with the fact, yeah, it's a sung through musical. I always knew that you were going to gravitate towards a sung through musical.
No, I've never done so.
Yeah, to me, this was the musical itself's not the most interesting part of this. The most interesting part of this is the subtext and the Judas. Judas is the most interesting part of this. Everything else is chuffa. Superfluous.
Do you have anything else to say about Jesus Christ Superstar?
No.
Should I jump into Noah?
Hey there, everybody. It's NCAR Justin here. Let me know down in the comments. Do you agree? Is Jesus Christ Superstar the most atheist musical of all time? Or like, what are your thoughts about Jesus Christ Superstar? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments down below. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see the full podcast that this is from, our most controversial episode ever, click the box on the left. Or if you just want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week. Or you can just leave this video a like. That helps us out too. We'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.